Suns are in a very vulnerable position right now. And Shady, I'm actually surprised by the position they're in. When I think about who deserves blame for the Suns' 0-2 start, I very simply look at one person, Joy Taylor. Y'all know who that person is.
Can I guess?
Take it.
I don't even want to say his name because you're a hater.
It's who Shady refers to as the God, Kevin Durant. But Shady, dare I be disappointed in God for the first time in my life, and the God, if you will, because Kevin Durant, he's a hired gun, but he's shooting blanks.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant, he a hitman, but he ain't killing nobody. Kevin Durant, 10 for 27 from the field, 2 for 12 from 3. That's not who the Suns hired. Not that hitman, not the hitman with no bodies. Not the gunman with no bullets. 10 for 27 from the field. This was a game last night that the Suns should have won. Jamal Murray had 4 points entering the fourth quarter. 4 points, and y'all couldn't take advantage of that at the point in which Bridges was traded away.
Right.
At the point in which Cam was traded away. You acquired Kevin Durant to not just replace those two, but you required Kevin Durant for a moment like this. For a moment where you need to win a game, desperately need to win a game, and you went 10 for 27 from the field. One of the greatest scores a game of basketball has ever seen. Yeah. 10 for 27. Joy, the reason I was so perturbed is because so often we see this full screen, and it's the one of greatest playoff scorers of all time. You see Michael Jordan. See Allen Iverson. You see Luka Doncic. You see Jerry West. And you see Kevin Durant.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
You do. Because you should. Because he's that good a scorer. So to be that good and play that bad is inexcusable. At the point in which we're looking at graphics like this and you were on a list with the names of Jordan and Iverson and even playoff Luka, who you know gonna give you 30 plus, to go 10 for 27 from the field when your team needs you the most, nah, that's where I put the blame. But LeSean McCoy, who you blame for the Suns' 0-2 start?
Jokic, the two-time MVP, he's playing like it.
He is.
But to back Kevin Durant, I will say this. The best thing about this is that it's a 7-game series.
True,
right?
Very true.
So he wasn't great in game 1, and he sure wasn't great in game 2.
Not at all.
But he goes back home to Phoenix, right? And we'll see a better Kevin Durant. Mm-hmm. I can't argue with you. He's not playing like the God that we know. And I think that happens. I know that it's hard for you to see that great players have bad days, but it happens all the time.
True.
Okay, so I love that what Booker put out. If we can get Booker to play like that, and then Kevin Durant, that's the thing, though, Joey, is that if we're worried about if Kevin Durant's going to show up, your team is in good shape because we all can agree that Kevin Durant's going to show up.
I hope. I can't agree.
If you was a betting man,
I am.
If you was a betting man, would you bet that Kevin Durant would show up?
I would bet on it.
Okay, so I'll say that. I just think that Jokic right now is playing lights out. Murray didn't have a good game at all, right? It took him a long time to get going, but Jokic kept it going. Yeah. And he really showed everybody that while he's a 2-time MVP. True. So as much as I hate on him for sure for getting these MVPs and not doing that in the playoffs and not winning games and not winning series, he definitely did that last night.
Break it down.
A lot of hat.
Break it down
behind him, for
Joy,
sure.
who do you blame for the Suns' 0-2 start?
I also blame Jokic, but we expect that from Jokic, don't we? So let's just put a little bit of respect on the rest of the Nuggets, because that was a good team win. Did KCP hit some big threes?
He did.
At the end of the game?
Yeah, that was clutch. That was clutch.
Did their bench contribute? You mentioned 4 points from Jamal Murray going into the fourth quarter. You know who had 4 points all night? Suns bench.
Yeah. Yeah, 94, yeah.
Okay, maybe KD is not playing to the level of Jokic. Maybe KD could be better. I think he could be a little better.
Absolutely.
Can we get more than 4 points from the Suns bench? Can we get more than 4? 1, 2, 3, 4? 4 points? Not even 5. 5! Nope, 4. 4 points from the Suns bench. That's not going to get it done. Not against the Nuggets. Now, I'm with you, Shady. This is a long series.
Yes, it is.
I'm still not panicked. It would be a great thing for the Suns to go in there and steal it. It would actually be a massive disappointment for the Nuggets to have given up one of these games as the #1 seed. I expect this to be a long series. In order for this to be a long series, the Suns are going to lose games. This should be a long series. Look, you would feel better if KD was playing better and it was all on the rest of the team. Because then you would feel like, okay, in the end, KD is going to get it done. So it is more worrisome to me that the rest of the team is playing the way that they are. And can we also put a little bit more context on the fact that CP3 went out?
You did.
So he wasn't there at the end of the game either. Now, I don't think that CP3 is going to give you the production that Booker or KD is. Of
course not.
But being on the court and being healthy at the end of this game, I think the Suns win this game. He's a playmaker that has that kind of influence.
Here's my biggest thing, though, Joy. This is why I don't even say, you know what, shout out to Jokic, shout out, not this game. See, if you were to say, who do you blame for the Suns being down 0-1, I'm with Shady all day, Jokic. But who do I blame for the Suns being down 0-2? Like, y'all realize Jamal Murray, who is the Nuggets' second best player, quite literally by a long shot, wasn't just bad. He was awful.
Yeah.
From 3, over. Like, he was atrocious. How you enter the fourth quarter with 4 points to the point where if you were watching the game, Jamal Murray didn't even want to shoot no more. Like, he was quite literally like, you know what, this ain't my game. The Nuggets didn't score 100 points. Like, they didn't score 100 points. I understand the Suns' bench was bad. But the Suns' bench wasn't this bad. They were atrocious. But equivalent to how bad the Suns were, bench-wise, is Kevin Durant going 10 for 27. Like, if you shoot the ball 27 times, we need more than 24.
Yeah, he had a bad shooting night, but he has to still take those shots.
Sure.
Like, shoot or shoot. He can't just stop shooting, especially Kevin Durant, as top-heavy as this team is, if he's having an off night. Eventually, some of these have to drop.
Have to.
I'm with you. And the Suns were up. I'm not saying this wasn't a missed opportunity for the Suns. I think it was. From that perspective, it is frustrating because they didn't play the same game. The Nuggets didn't play the same game that they played in Game 1. So you would have liked to steal this game. I don't think you panic yet because they were supposed to lose both these games. This is the best team in the Western Conference at home. You had an opportunity, and it didn't happen. But I also don't anticipate that they're going to shoot this bad next game.
And I mean, Jokic, like 39 and 16, like he slowed that whole game down, right? And I know that Kevin Durant didn't shoot well, but you got to look at Jokic, like he really dominated that game.
Yeah.
When they couldn't find points, he was getting the points. And then we talk about the bench. You putting so much emphasis on the bench points.
Suns bench or Nuggets?
The Suns bench. Like, when you make that trade with Kevin Durant and you send on some of your players, like, it's a better trade. Like, I'm sorry, not a better trade, but I'm okay with that trade. I'm okay with giving Kevin Durant and not having the bench support.
Sure.
Because when we were talking about how they were 12-1, 11-1, when Kevin Durant was playing with them, they didn't have no real bench support. So I'm not really worried about that. The biggest thing is when I watch the games now with Kevin Durant, those are really good shots that he put up.
They got to fall.
He just missed. So if I'm a player, if I'm a ball player, I get to my spots when I want to. I'm getting clean shots. You can't tell me at home them shots are not going to drop. So as much as you want to put this on Kevin Durant, I'm cool with that. Listen, Jokic, two-time MVP, they beat us. The number 1 seed, they beat us at home. They supposed to. We just seen a team, right, a higher seed, go up 2-0 against the Warriors, and you was doing that whole thing. I don't know. Can the Warriors win? Is it over? You panicked. Don't panic. Don't hit no beams and don't hit no panic buttons. Because I'm telling you right now, when the Suns go back home to Phoenix, they're going to tie it up 2-2, and then that's when the coaching adjustments come into play. Now you see the different matchups. Okay, how you going to do this in adjustment? So I'm not worried about it.
Not worried about it. Well, who should be worried? How about the Boston Celtics? Because they should, I would say, be panicked. Joel Embiid didn't even play for the Sixers last night, but James Harden, he had himself a field day. A playoff career high.
He's back.
45 points. Now, as I said earlier, Embiid did not play, and many don't suppose that he will play in the following game, but they didn't need him. No Embiid, no problem for the Sixers. Shady, were you... Okay, I don't know what exactly Shady is.
That's what they be doing. They shoot three, they be like... I don't know what that is, but that's a 3.
Were you impressed with the Sixers or disappointed in the Celtics?
The Sixers! Listen, it's Philadelphia Sixers, baby. That's what we do. We got that heart of a champion, heart of a lion. Rocky Balboa. I told you before, that's real. That's real.
You did say that.
It goes Muhammad Ali, then it goes Rocky Balboa. You've seen the fight with the Sixers, right? Joel Embiid, the MVP, he's not playing. Every gambler in the world picked the Celtics to win. But if you watched it, we did a great job of this controlling the game, right? They went up, we made runs. They went up, we made runs. And then when they got the clutch time, James Harden, he came back to life.
Yeah.
We seen the old James Harden from back then, cooking him up, isolation. We did a good job of pick and roll with Horford. We got the mismatch we wanted with him, and we kept killing him the whole game, him and Maxey. Philadelphia Sixers, baby. Don't be surprised. It's going to be an upset.
Joy, can I be disappointed in the Celtics for a few reasons? Number one, the Celtics actually have the personnel to limit the Sixers, particularly the Sixers without Embiid.
Okay.
Like, you knew James Harden was going to cook. But let's not act like Marcus Smart is not a former Defensive Player of the Year. Let's not act like Marcus Smart is not capable of locking down James Harden to a degree. Like,
to a degree, right,
keep him without holding 45
right.
points. Let's not act like Tatum, Brown aren't two of the best two-way players in basketball when you talk about wings. Long, agile, athletic, and young enough to guard 33-year-old James Harden. So what Harden did was clearly impressive. 45 points, tying a career high in the playoffs. But I'm utterly disappointed in the Celtics, who have championship pedigree, who have been here and beyond before. They have youth, they have the talent, they have the roster, and they didn't get it done. It didn't really make sense to me.
Sure, you can be disappointed in them, and for all the reasons that we just mentioned, you're supposed to protect home court, so obviously this is a disappointing loss for the Celtics. But when somebody's cooking, there's nothing you can do about it. That was just one of those performances. Sometimes guys just have nights. Now, Harden used to have a lot more of those nights, but it wasn't like he wasn't being defended. He was just cooking. Like, if I'm in your face like this and you're still putting it down, what else are you supposed to do? Tackle him to the floor? Like, James was going to have his night. That was an incredible performance, and you just have to give him his flowers. Like, sometimes guys just have those playoff performances, and there's nothing you can do about it. And that was one of those nights.
Here's why I'm disappointed. Because James Harden should not be matched up on Horford for the game-time bucket. I need my guard to fight through the screen. I don't want Horford to be sitting there getting cooked by Harden to lose the game 117-115. I say lose the game 117-115 because that was the bucket that ultimately decided the game. Clearly, it ended 119-115. Shady, I'm not disappointed that Harden was cooking. I'm disappointed that they did not do anything over the course of him cooking to stop him from getting it up.
I got to say this about the Celtics. They have a lot of talent, right? But you talked about having a championship pedigree. I don't think they have that.
Really?
I look at the Hawks. Serious. They had a closeout game in Boston, and they did not close out, right? They had the lead. They lost the lead, okay? It gets down to a couple seconds, maybe like a minute or 50-some seconds, and Marcus Smart, he commits a foul, right, on Trae Young coming up the court. I'm thinking, like, why would he foul him? Just play defense. I keep saying these small mental errors. I watched last night against the Sixers. And you talked about the closeout on Horford. You don't want my guy, game-winning bucket on Horford. Well, they kept doing it the whole time. When they kept coming back, they was doing the pick and rolls, and they would get the switch off. And every switch off he got against Horford, cooking him. So my thing is, there was no adjustments. I didn't see nobody on the court talking, switch this, switch that. I didn't see none of that.
So if I were to ask you, who do you blame for the Celtics losing, what's your answer there?
I'm not going to give it to the Celtics. I'm going to give it to Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers coached his butt off. He coached his butt off, and he earned that. And I seen it, and I seen why. All them switch outs, I didn't see none of it. And I seen how every matchup they wanted to get, they got against Horford and the small. If it was Maxey or if it was Harden.
Well, this series has been fascinating. That game one was crazy.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.